We're here at the Web 2.0 Summit in San Francisco. With me I have Kevin Rose. Nice to see you, sir.
Yeah, good to see you.
So you rose to a lot of prominence with Digg.com. Now you're on to other interesting things like Milk. What's the story there?
So Milk is a little tiny incubator that we started in San Francisco. And actually, every time I say incubator, people get confused because they think we're taking other people's ideas, but it's just our own ideas. Okay. So there's a team of 7. And we raised a little bit of money, and the idea is to go out and build 2 to 3 cool apps, web apps, mobile apps, whatever it may be, and see what sticks.
Okay. What have you been working on so far?
The first app we're launching is called Oink, and Oink is a way to rate and review things, not places. So there's been so much of the rating and reviewing things with the Yelp or Google Places or you name it. There's been tons of them. We care more about individual objects and then ranking them against each other. So for example, pick your favorite tea shop and that you really enjoy a cappuccino at. We want to take that cappuccino and compare it against all other cappuccinos in the city. And then rate them and say, okay, this is the best one, this is number 2, this is number 3, and so on. But do that for anything, for shopping, for running trails, for dentists, like you name it.
Okay. Do you see this becoming a hot or not thing for stuff, or extending into people someday? Where does that stop?
We have no idea. We wanted to create a completely open taxonomy so that people, when they go in and they submit content and they tag it, it's just out there to be voted upon. So we've seen really weird things from, things that we kind of expected, like art at a museum, things that we didn't expect, kind of like a fly problem at a restaurant. So someone took a picture of a flies and said, like, this is the worst thing at this restaurant. But it's kind of cool in a way because it informs that restaurant about some of the things that they have to fix. But just all kinds of random stuff that people are taking pictures of. So it's
cool.
It's been fun.
So it sounds, again, taking pictures. That's this profoundly mobile thing that so many people are doing now. They've got a smartphone, they can take a picture. Do you think you'll integrate it into image recognition or object recognition sort of things?
Eventually. I mean, the technology is not there today to do that kind of stuff accurately. And so really for us, I think that what we want to do is just make it very simple for people to create structured data around this stuff, because the structure is really what's important, and it's really what sets us apart from a lot of these other services. Like, I use Instagram all the time, and it's great for taking pictures of all the kind of crazy things, that make cool retro photos and things like that. For us, it's not, I should say the taking pictures part is about the first time you enter an object. Oftentimes I can go in a coffee shop now with the beta testers that we have in the Bay Area, and it will have already been submitted, and I'll just have to go in and then rank it, right? But I think that the recommendations and things like that down the road are going to be a lot of fun, where you can go out and Oink knows that I really like cafe au laits, and so the next time I fly to, Chicago or New York or wherever, start walking around, if there's an awesome cafe au lait a couple blocks away, because of geofencing, my phone knows that, buzzes, and tells me, hey, the 13th most popular cafe au lait is 2 blocks away, go walk down and try it out. So you just mentioned, I think, something, it's an important trend that's coming out of this. I mean, mobile, social, and local are sort of these macro trends that are coming through this. And Mary Meeker talked about a mega trend, the empowerment of citizens through mobile devices. These things all sort of come together. Absolutely.
And the idea that this thing that we're toting around with us can help us navigate the world that we're in. Where are the opportunities in that people haven't sort of hopped on in terms of solving real problems for people, and what are the barriers to some of them getting fixed?
Well, I think that's, I've been thinking a lot about that with this app, because we had, I'll give you an example. Last night, I was out and about in Hayes Valley area of San Francisco, and I saw that there had been a couple photos taken of this bike shop, and by bike enthusiasts saying that I really like this, right? So, if someone has a flat tire on their bike and doesn't know how to fix it, could they not go out and then ping those tastemakers in the bicycle tag in that given area for help or assistance? So I think that there's a lot of really interesting things, like almost like a real world kind of Quora in a way, where you can actually go out and ask of tastemakers like how to get things done based on what they've done in the past in those neighborhoods on a local basis. And so, I think that the community graph, like your neighbors, and what you can do together, clean up graffiti, remove trash, like things like that, it's really interesting. There's no real platform today to enable communication between these people and to get things done. So it's definitely something I'm keeping my eye on.
Yeah, O'Reilly's OATV is invested in a company called SeeClickFix, which actually interfaces to the city 3-in-1 systems. You take a picture of something, then it creates an instance, and it can be around trash or fallen tree limbs.
I've seen that.
Happens to
Potholes,
be.
things like that. Yeah, that's really cool.
Ben Berkowitz famously says potholes are the gateway drug to citizen engagement. As he tries to, it's a way to get people involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
And get them to be part of their communities. And I think the communities are actually a great jumping off point.
But I think what's even more interesting is not necessarily like the reporting, like yes, taking a picture of a pothole, saying this sucks, and reporting it back to the government is one thing, but that really doesn't connect me with my community. So what I'm excited about is the tools that allow me to have a conversation with neighbors, and almost in a way, I would love to see if this could create like a network of people to get things done, you know? And
so you hang out online a fair bit. It's very, no big shock. What are your favorite places to spend time getting to know neighbors? Do you meet people in your neighborhood?
I don't think
online?
it's built yet.
You know?
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, I don't have any tool that I use for something like that.
It's not Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus.
Not my neighbors. You know, I may friend a neighbor, but like we're in San Francisco, we're a very dense, area, and people move in and out a lot. So it's not like I'm living in the same house for 15 years and I know all of my neighbors. It's a little bit different, and so I'm not quite sure that there's a tool to do that yet. I've seen a few attempts at it, but nothing has really gained any traction.
So last question, you've got to go build things, right? We have both a relevance and a noise problem right now, especially as you look at the social platforms. If you are a busy person, many people are here, or the world's populated them, especially once you have kids, have to travel a lot. What are the tools that help you navigate that busyness in terms of getting to what you need to know when you need to know it? Information retrieval, friend information retrieval, shopping. What are the let's call them life hacks, to use a term of art, that you've actually found useful?
Yeah, I mean, I think that today is a great example where I'm not on my computer. I'm out and about doing conference stuff, and so I've used Sumify a lot. I like Sumify. It takes all of my Twitter history over the course of a certain amount of time, 12 hours, whatever it may be, and takes a look at what's being retweeted, what's getting the most traction, and creates a summary of the top news for me to check out that day. So that's really handy. I use that when I know when I get back to my computer there's going to be 300 unread tweets, and I'm just like, there's no way I'm going through all of that. So that's a really nice way to jump to the best stuff. On top of that, it's the standard sites like Digg or Hacker News or these other sites that will pull out the best content. Or Tech Meme is another one I like for tech news. That just take a look at all the stuff that's being submitted and aggregate it together. I think it's the same old names that you've heard for the last 6 years or so.
They're still hanging out there.
Yeah, still hanging out there.
So you're still spending time on Digg?
Yeah, I mean, Digg. I dig a handful of stories a week, and I think that it's an interesting company in that it has 18 million or so people a month come to the site. That's a big site.
Yeah.
It's not like the darling of the current Web 2.5 or whatever we're calling it, but it's double digits of millions of dollars in revenue a year. It is what it is, and so they're going to continue to try and innovate, and hopefully something good will come out of that. But I'm still on the board there and helping out, so it's fun.
Cool. And is there any next thing that you're excited about aside from the app that you're building?
I've done a couple angel investments that I'm pretty excited about. Treehouse is really cool. Ryan Carson's thing that does all the Carsonified conferences, like future web apps, stuff like that.
Cool.
He's doing an education platform for tech people. He just feels that, you go to school today to learn, like they're still teaching Pascal in some schools. Like they're just not up to speed with the latest web technologies, and so he wants to provide that all online. Fab.com is another one that I did that I invested in that I think is just killing it. It's kind of a design within reach but for on the cheap side.
Cool.
So it's really cool. Yard sales really cool. I think they have a chance to take on eBay when it comes to like little local auction type sales of people around you. So that's getting to more of that community aspect where I can go. I just posted some sunglasses on there a couple days ago and sold them in like a couple hours, and some guy came by, handed me $40, I handed him sunglasses.
Wow, that's close to magic, right?
It's pretty cool. So it's that kind of stuff that I think that you're on to something when you say like that community stuff, and it seems that was the theme of some of the conference, and I think that's going to be something fun to tap into over the next year or so.
Cool. Well, we'll keep watching.
Yeah.
Time.
Thanks
Great
so much.
Yeah, appreciate it.